In the previous video, we discussed PostgreSQL's native database audit tools. Their configuration was tricky, requiring text file modifications and server restarts. In this video, we'll use DataSunrise Database Security Suite to audit our database. Remember that we allowed remote access to the database server on IP48. PostgreSQL doesn't have a password set for the Postgres user by default. To connect to the database remotely, we need to set this password. I've connected to the database server virtual machine using Xterm. Let's set the password now. We can now try the remote connection to the database using PSQL on the host machine, which runs Windows 10. I have PostgreSQL 14 installed, which includes PSQL. Great, the connection is established. It's more convenient to work with dbeaver when managing databases. dbeaver is also installed on my host machine, so we'll create a connection there too. Note how easily the database schema can be browsed here. Now it's time to connect to the DataSunrise server, running on a CentOS 7 virtual machine with IP 230. The first page we see is the dashboard. We navigate to the Configuration and Databases page to set up the PostgreSQL database instance. We'll use this instance when creating the audit rule. Click Add Database and fill in the required parameters. Test the connection, and note the port number for the proxy, which will intercept database sessions. Save the instance. The yellow light turns green once the instance initialization is complete. Navigate to the Audit and then to Rules page, where all existing rules are listed. Let's disable Audit Rule 10, which is for MongoDB, and not needed for our transactional trails. We'll create a new rule. We keep all queries checked and select all of my underscore table to audit queries. To view logged queries, we'll browse the transactional trails, which is currently empty. Let's create a connection in bbeaver to the database proxy. The DataSunrise proxy will fetch data from the database and send it back to us. Now, as I load my underscore table in Beaver, it requests data from the 230 proxy, which then requests it from the database server on the 48 machine. The transactional trails now contain a single event. We can refresh a couple of times to see more events. Events are clickable, providing lots of information like logged queries, objects involved, applications, and more. To temporarily disable the rule, select it and click the Disable button. Much simpler than postgres.conf, isn't it? This concludes our simple audit rule setup. Stay tuned for upcoming videos on event tagging and suspicious user behavior detection to see how DataSunrise's advanced audit capabilities work.